Hello, student. Let's start the second week of global brand management. Last week, I told some orientation of this class, and we talk about the definition of branding and something else. But today, I will tell chapter 1, brands and brand management from the start. Okay, and then I will give you some announcement that by the October 19, maybe it's the 7th week of this semester, the class will be taken by online class. Will be continued to the 7th week of this semester, is October 19th. Okay, it is our school policy because of the prevention of COVID-19. Okay, let's start this week. Last week, I introduced the book Strategic Brand Management. Management, 5th edition. I heard from some students it's very hard to buy this book, but Aladdin is online company, book company. Maybe from this week you can find many other book retailers, offline and online, and you can find and buy this book. You have to buy that book and read the content, that the good is very valuable, and to accomplish the goal of this class you should catch up with the book, this class, with reading this book. And then okay, let's move on to next slide. Learning objective, I already told, I'm gonna skip. What is a brand? What is a brand? What is a brand? A brand, definition of the brand is a name, term, sign, symbol, or design, or a combination of them, intended to identify the goods and services of one seller of good or group of sellers, and to differentiate them from those of a competition. There are many kinds of brands. I will take an example of tuna. In Korean, 참치. A kind of 참치, you know, is 동원 참치, and 오뚜기 참치, and 사조 참치. You can tell the difference of those products with brand. 동원 is company name, and 오뚜기 company name, and another 사조. Okay, like that. The major function of a brand is to identify the goods and services of one seller or group of sellers and to differentiate them from those of competitors, those of competition. Brand versus product. Brand versus product. Okay, let's move on to next slide. Brand element. Brand element. The key to creating a brand. There are many kinds of brand elements. Able to choose a name, logo, symbol, package design, or other characteristic that identifies a product, distinguishes and brand element distinguishes it from other product. Brand element distinguishes one brand from other product, one product from other product. Brand element, there are many are components that identify and differentiate a brand, are brand element. You can see many kinds of brand element in daily lives. For example, LG there is a logo, like in the middle, in the center of the logo L, and some point at the left side, and outer there are some feature like G, shift G is LG logo, and you can see the brand Apple and Nike. There are many symbol or logo, okay, like that. Package design. Maybe Prangle. Do you know the potato chip Prangle? Prangle is has very unique package design, like a cylinder shaped, cylindrical package. And brand element are components that identify and differentiate a brand. Are brand element. Okay. Brand element is different components of a brand that identify and differentiate it. Let's move on to next slide. What's the difference between brands and product? Brands and product. A product is anything we can offer to a market for attention, acquisition, use, or consumption that might satisfy a need or want. Okay, a product is anything we can offer to a market for attention, acquisition, use, or consumption that might satisfy a need or want. Thus, a product may be a physical good like a cereal, tennis racket, or automobile, or a service such as an airline, bank, or movie, or other insurance company. 5 levels of meaning for product. The first one, core benefit level. Second one, generic product level. Third one, expected product level. Fourth one, augmented product level. Finally, potential product level. The first core benefit level is the fundamental need or want that consumers satisfy by consuming the product or service. It's like when consumers buy cosmetics, they think of or dream some hope or beauty. It is the core benefit level for a product. Okay. Second one, generic product level is a basic version of the product containing only those attributes or characteristics absolutely necessary for its functioning but with distinguishing features. For example, maybe let's take an example of pure water. Pure water. When we think of pure water should be clean, good to health, clean, good to health. Water is transparent, or like that. The kind of characteristic attribute, generic product level. This is essentially a stripped down, no frills version of the product that adequately performs the product function. Okay, the stripped down, no frills version of the product that adequately performs the product function. Next, the third level of the product is expected product level. Expected product level is a set of attributes or characteristics that buyers normally expect and agree to when they purchase a product. Let's take an example of a pure water, Evian pure water. Consumer will expect very high quality, good to your health, your body, and the price will be also high, and the water, there is no bad ingredient, and the pure water bottle designed well, designed at a premium level, like that, it is expected product level. Expected product level is a set of attributes or characteristics that buyers normally expect and agree to when they purchase a product. The first one is the augmented product level. Augmented product level. Augmented product level includes additional product attribute, benefit, or related services that distinguish the product from competitors. If the product gives some coupon or any other premium or promotion, and then it is augmented product level. Okay. Or AS after service, or any other service, additional service, can be called as augmented product level. Last level of the product is the potential product level. Potential product level includes all the augmentations and transformations that a product might ultimately undergo in the future. Okay. Maybe let's take an example of a car. Car is car that is these days, with the development of technology, the car can be driven by itself. Huh? There is no need for drivers, the human beings, to drive a car. Autonomous driving can be done, and any other environmental clean attribute of the car, or any other characteristic or attribute of the car, those attributes cannot be accomplished by now, but it can be the kinds of level can be reached in near future. There is at that time we call potential product level. 제가 이 부분은 한국말로 다시 한번 해줄게요. 제품에 대해서는 제품을 의미하는 데 있어서는 5가지 레벨이 있다고 얘기해요. 핵심 혜택 수준, 일반 혜택 수준, 기대 제품 수준, 또 증폭 제품 수준, 잠재 제품 수준, 이렇게 5가지가 있는데 이 5가지를 좀 구분을 할 필요가 있어요. 그래서 핵심 혜택 수준이다 그러면은 우리가 어떤 제품이나 서비스를 소비함으로써 얻고자 하는 이 근본적인 요구나 욕구, 그런 것들을 의미하죠. 예를 들어서 코스메틱, 화장품을 소비한다고 했을 때 그 화장품을 소비하면 뭐 남자건 여자건 더 뭐 아름답고 더 잘생겨지길 원하고요. 예? 어떤 그런 희망이랑 꿈을 갖게 되죠. 그런 게 이제 핵심 해익 수준이라고 그러고요. 그 다음에 제네릭 프로덕트 레벨이라고 그러면 일반 제품 수준이라고 그러면, 일반 제품 수준은 그 제품이라면 가져야 될 기본적인 그 속성들, 갖춰야 될 기본적인 속성들. 그래서 제가 생수를 얘기를 드렸는데, 생수다 그러면은 생수는 뭐 깨끗해야 되죠. 그리고 보통 투명하고 하얗죠. 그리고 뭐 보틀 형태로 이렇게 들어있죠. 그리고 물을 마셨을 때 뭐 물맛이 좋아야겠죠. 이런 속성들, 기본적으로 생수면은 가지고 있어야 될 기본적인 속성들을 소비자가 기대한다. 그래서 expected product level 이렇게 얘기를 해요. 그거보다 더 높은 레벨은 augmented product level이죠. augmented product level이라고 그러면 뭐냐면, 소비자가 제품을 소비할 때 뭐 기대는 안 했는데 그거 이상으로 증폭돼서 준다는 거죠. 어떤 뭐 우리가 제품을 샀는데 뭐 추가적으로 더 뭐 껴준다든지, 쿠폰을 준다든지, 프리미엄을 준다든지, 뭐 다른 제품을 이렇게 사서 준다, 같이 껴서 준다든지, 뭐 이런 것들. 또 AS가 더 듀어러블 굿즈인 경우에 뭐 절 준다 그러든지 이런 것들을 우리가 Augmented Product Level이라고 얘기를 해요. 죄송합니다. 마지막으로 Potential Product Level 하면 지금 현재는 아니지만 제품이 궁극적으로 뭐 가까운 미래든 어떤 미래에 달성하게 될 수준 그런 것들을 우리가 Potential Product Level이라고 얘기를 해요. 그래서 Potential Product Level은 예를 들어서 자동차라고 해보세요. 자동차라고 하면은 뭐 지금도 기술적으로 기술 발전 이런 거로 혁신 활동 이런 거로 해서 자동차가 거의 완전 자율주행차가 이제 곧 나타나죠. 완전 자율주행차. 이제 뭐 자동차뿐만 아니라 다른 여러 가지 인프라라든지 이런 거랑도 관계가 법 제도적인 문제랑도 관계가 되지만 어떤 그런 차가 나타난다면 출현한다면 그런 거 또 뭐 완전 무공해 차량이 나온다면 그죠? 무공해 차량이 나온다면 또 우리 자동차를 접을 수 있고 이렇게 가져다닐 수 있는 그런 자동차가 나온다면 이런 것들은 완전 Potential Product Level. 그래서 5가지 수준의 어떤 제품을 의미하는 게 있다라고 얘기를 하는 거죠. 한편 오케이 다음 장으로 넘어갈게요. Okay, move on to next page, next slide. Brands versus product. A product is anything we can offer to a market for attention, acquisition, use, or consumption. A product might satisfy a need or want of the consumer. Physical good like a cereal, tennis racket, or car. A brand is more than a product since it can have dimensions that differentiate it from other products. A brand is more than a product since it can have dimensions that differentiate it from other products. Okay, let's move on to next slide. Brands versus product. Differences between a product and a brand may be rational and tangible. Rational and tangible from the perspective of rationality and tangibility related to product performance of the brand. Right. Product performance. But we do not only buy or have or use the brand from the perspective of rationality and tangibility. These days are more symbolic, emotional, and intangible are more important. It is related to what the brand represents. The rational and tangible criteria is related to 가심비. Do you know the concept of 가심비? 가성비 is related to the performance relative to price. Okay? But more symbolic, emotional, and intangible criteria is related to 가심비. 가심비 is related to the satisfaction, emotional satisfaction relative to price is related to what the brand 여러분 저기 제품이나 상표 사이의 차이는 두 가지 측면에서 우리가 볼 수 있는데, 첫 번째는 이 이성적이고 유형적인 차원에서는 브랜드의 제품 성과, 제품의 성과와 관련이, 제품이 어떤 성능을 가지느냐와 관련되는 거죠. 또는 상징성이라든지 감정성이라든지 또는 무형성과 관련되는 거는 제품이 가지고 있는 것, 제품이 가지고 있는 것, 어떻게 보면 제품이 내포하고 있는 것과 관련이 되는 거죠. 예를 들면 요즘 여러분들 아마 가성비랑 가심비란 얘기 할 거예요. 최근에 소비자들은 가성비보다 가심비를 더 좋아한다. 그래서 첫 번째 가성비다 그러면은 제품의 어떤 가치를, 가격 대비 그 가치를 따지는 거. 그런데 그 가치라는 거는 특히 그 성능이라든지 어떤 그런 면에서 그걸 따지는 걸 우리가 가성비라고 그러고, 가심비는 제품이 뭐 그게 중요한 게 아니라 제품을 샀을 때 나의 심리적인 만족, 나의 감정, 얼마나 내가 왜 자랑스럽나, 이런 성질, 그걸 가심비라고 그러죠. 그래서 요즘은 가심비가 중요하다고 그러는데, 그런 차원에서 두 번째 거는 symbolic, emotional, intangible, 이런 것들은 이 가심비와 관련이 있는 거죠. Okay, let's move on next slide. There are 10 figure 1-2 shows 10 firms rated highly in innovation. First one is Apple. Second one is Netflix. Third one is Square. Square is a kind of Twitter site. There are some followers and they give some important information. And Tencent is a Chinese site. Amazon, Patagonia, and CVS healthcare retail outlet, Washington Post, Spotify, and NBA is the National Basketball Association. 10 firms rated highly in innovation, based on Fast Company's 2018 list of most innovative companies. What do you think of these figure with a Korean company? Number 1, number 2, number 3, maybe number 1, anyway, Neighbor, Kakao, Samsung, like that. Okay. You do better to search for the company Square and Spotify, like that, and then the reason why they are so innovative in USA. Okay, let's move on to next slide. Why do brands matter? To consumers and firms? The first one, to consumers, brand functions. The function of the brand is to identify the source or maker of the brand. Consumer can know the brand of some company, the product of the company by brand. Okay. Next function is to simplify product decision. To simplify product decision, The third one is to lower the search cost for product internally and externally. When we are going to buy some product like a PC or automobile or any other product or service, we search for many sources, information sources, internally and externally. But if we choose only when we buy the product of high brand, prestigious brand, because brand if the brand reputation of the product is high, that means the quality is high, the value is high, so that resulting in lowering the search cost. And brand helps set reasonable expectations about what consumers may not know about the brand. Okay? And in some sense, brand is the signal of quality. Okay? Okay, let's move on next slide. And brands can signal product characteristic and attribute. On the basis of attribute, product can be classified as search good, experience good, credence good. For search good, like grocery produce, consumers can evaluate product attributes like sturdiness, size, color, style, design, weight, and ingredient composition by visual inspection. Search good. For experience good, goods like automobile tires, consumer cannot assess product attributes like durability, service quality, safety, and ease of handling, or used so easily by inspection, and actual product trial and experience is necessary. Last, the credence goods like insurance coverage, consumers may rarely learn product attributes. 예, 제가 이 부분은 그 한글 우리나라 말로 설명해 드릴게요. 제품 속성, 제품이 가지고 있는 성격에 따라서 세 가지로 구분이 되는데, 이제 탐색제가 있고, 서치굿 탐색제라고 그러고, 경험제가 있고, 크레덴스굿 그러면은 이거는 뭐 신뢰제 이렇게 얘기를 해요. 탐색제, 경험제, 신뢰제라고 하는데, 얼마나 뭐 튼튼한지, 뭐 크기는 어떤지, 색깔은 좋은지, 스타일은 어떤지, 디자인은 어떤지, 무게는 어떤지, 뭐 여기에 들어가는 원재료 구성은 어떤지, 이렇게 눈으로 확인할 수 있는 거 있죠. 뭐 과일 같은 것도 그런 거겠죠. 뭐 아니면 야채 같은 것도 그런 거고, 아니면 딴 것들도 그런 것들을 우리가 탐색제라고 그래요. 눈을 보고 이렇게 들어갈 수 있는 거. 구분해서 선택할 수 있는 거. 이걸 우리가 탐색제라고 하고, 경험제다 그러면은 눈으로 봐서는 안 되고 비주얼 인스펙션으로는 안 되고 실제 한번 사용을 해봤을 때 알 수 있는 거. 그래서 책에 나온 37페이지에 나온 예는 이제 저런 게 있죠. 타이어, 자동차 타이어 같으면은 그거를 뭐 내구성이라든지 듀어러빌리티라든지 서비스 품질이라든지 안전이라든지 ease of handling, 얼마나 핸들링이 쉬운지 또는 사용하기에 얼마나 또 검사하기 쉬운지 이런 속성들을 가지고 제품을 적어할 수 있는 거, 이런 경우는 경험제라고 그래요. 경험제. 그리고 마지막에 이제 신뢰제다 뭐 이렇게 얘기를 하면은 믿고 그거 하는 거죠. 뭐 제일 우수한 뭐 서비스 기업이라든지, 예? 아니면 브랜드가 아주 뛰어난 기업. 어떻게 보면은 뭐 명품 같은 거는 또 그럴 수도 있고요. 그죠? 그리고 우리가 뭐 누가 무슨 병원 같은 데서 종합병원 같은 데 무슨 수술을 잘한다 그러면 실제로 뭐 수술을 받고선 할 수는 없죠. 물론 요즘 인터넷 같은 게 발달해서 막 많이 찾아보고 가고 그러긴 하지만 그런 것들 우리가 저기 신뢰제 이렇게 얘기는 하죠. 예, 그래서 이런 기준에 따라서 나눌 수 있다 이렇게 볼 수 있어요. 오케이. 또 Consumer 3 of 3 brands can reduce risk in product decision. These risks can be categorized as functional risk, physical risk, financial risk, social, psychological risk, and time risk. The first one, functional risk, stands for the product does not perform up to expectation. Yeah? Functionally, not so good. Physical risk is related to the product poses a threat to the physical well-being or health of the user or others. Financial risk, the product is not worth the price paid. 그 제품은 돈값을 못해, 제값을 못해 이런 거 있죠. 그런 게 이제 financial risk. Social risk is related to the concept that the product result in embarrassment from others. If the product has some problem with regard to the relationship with others, it has some social risk. Psychological risk, the product affects the mental well-being of the user. Mental well-being of the user. Psychological risk. And lastly, time risk, the failure of the product result in an opportunity cost of finding another satisfactory product. Okay, we now talk about many role of brand to the perspective of consumer. To consumers, the special meaning that brands take on can change their perceptions and experience with the product. The identical product may be evaluated differently depending on the brand identification or attribution it carries. Brands take on unique personal meaning to consumers that facilitate their day-to-day activities and enrich their lives. As consumers' lives become more complicated, rushed, and time-starved, the ability of a brand to simplify decision-making and reduce risk is invaluable. Next, to the firm. What's the functions or roles of brands to the firms? Brands provide valuable functions to a firm. The first one is to simplify product handling and tracing. Product handling and simplify is product handling and tracing. And brands can help organizing inventory and accounting records. Brands enables employees to offer the firm legal protection for unique features or aspects of the brand. Brands offer the firm legal protection for unique features or aspects of the product. Brands provide predictability and security of demand for the firm and creates barriers of entry for competitors. Lastly, brands provide a powerful means to secure competitive advantage. Okay. There are many kinds of benefits provided by the brands to the firm's view. To sum it up, Figure 1.3 shows roles that brands play. I will read once again. Consumers, roles to the consumers: identification of source of product, assignment of responsibility to product maker, and risk reducer, search cost reducer, promise, bond, or pact with maker or product, and symbolic device, and signal of quality. And to the manufacturer, means of identification to simplify handling or tracing, means of legally protecting unique features, signal of quality level to satisfied customers, means of endowing product with unique associations, source of competitive advantage. Brand itself is one of the best important source of competitive advantage, source of financial returns. Okay, move on to next slide. Brand value as a percentage of market capitalization. Market capitalization in Korean 시가총액, 시총. 이 증권시장에서 총 주식수와 그 종목의 총 주식수와 주가를 곱해서 만든 거죠. 그래서 이걸 시가총액이라고 그러죠. Apple 868 billion. Google 729 billion. Microsoft, Coca-Cola, Amazon, Samsung, Toyota, Facebook, Mercedes, IBM. Is based on Interbrand Best Global Brands 2010. It's a long time ago. Now maybe the market cap of these companies market cap will be increased, enormously increased, maybe. If you are interested in that, you can find in the internet with the navigation, with searching for the market cap of many brands: Mega, Microsoft, Amazon, Google, Apple, like that. Okay, anyway, sorry, a page. Next, let's move on to, can anything be branded? Yes, anything can be branded. Physical goods, it's very so natural, absolutely. And services, okay, good. Next, to brand a product, it is necessary to teach consumers who the product is, giving it a name, using other brand elements to help identify it, what the product does, and why consumers should care. Marketers must give consumers a label for the product and provide meaning for the brand. Marketers can benefit from branding whenever consumers are in a choice situation. So, marketers can benefit from branding whenever consumers are in a choice situation. So it is very important for marketers to include to be include to include his or her brand, consumers' choice set. Okay. Let's move on to next slide. Physical goods. Physical goods are what traditionally associated with brands. Mercedes-Benz automobile, Nescafe coffee, Sony is electronic device. And branding has been adopted in a variety of industries, industrial business-to-business product, and technology-intensive high-tech product. Textbook, on the textbook 41, you can find the Science of Branding 1, 2, understanding business to business branding. Business to business purchase decisions are complex and often high risk. Therefore, branding plays an important role in business to business market. 6 specific guidelines developed in greater detail in later chapters can be defined for marketers of business to business brands. The first one, ensure the entire organization understands and supports branding and brand management. The entire organization understanding and supporting is so important for branding and brand management. Second, adopt a corporate branding strategy if possible and create a well-defined brand hierarchy. Corporate brand. Individual brand strategy is not so good for B2B product. Adopt a corporate branding strategy if possible and create a well-defined brand hierarchy. The third one is frame value perceptions. Given the highly competitive nature of business-to-business market, marketers must ensure that customers fully appreciate how their offerings are different. Framing occurs when consumers are given a perspective or point of view. Framing occurs when customers are given a perspective or point of view that allows the brand to put its best foot forward. Framing can be as simple as making sure customers realize all the benefit or cost savings offered by the brand, or becoming more active in shaping how customers view the economics of purchasing, owning, using, and disposing of brand in a different way. Framing requires understanding how customers currently think of brands and choose among products and services, and then determining how they should ideally think and choice. 프레이밍이 이제 심리적인 방법인데요. 우리가 이제 그런 거죠. 예를 들어서 물이 반이 있을 때, 컵에 물이 반이 있을 때 반밖에 없어 라고 하는 거랑 반이나 있어는 굉장히 다르죠. 그죠? 컵에 물, 이제 목이 많은 사람이 있는데 아유 반밖에 없네 이러면 굉장히 부정적으로 보는 거고요. 반이나 있네 이건 굉장히 긍정. 똑같잖아요. 물이 반이 있는 거는. 그런 거를 이제 프레이밍 한다고 그러죠. 그죠? 그죠? 우리가 그러니까 어떤 뭐 전략이라든지 정책이라든지 이런 거를 할 때도 좋은 점을 더 부각시킬 수가 있고, 그죠? 좋은 점을 더 부각시키는 방법이 있고, 잘못된 점을 더 주장을 하는 방법이 있죠. 그러니까 같은 건데 이걸 어떻게 하느냐에 따라서 달라지는 거죠. 그죠? 그걸 이제 프레이밍 전략이라고 그래요. 그래서 뭐 사회 각 분야에서 정치는 물론 뭐 기업이나 경제적으로 뭐 사회적으로 많이 이렇게 그런 것들을 쓰죠. 그런 것들을 우리가 이제 프레이밍 전략이라고 그러는데, 특히 이 비즈니스 투 비즈니스인 경우에는 그런 가치를 지각하던 그거를 잘 이렇게 하도록 프레임을 어떻게 잡느냐가 되게 중요하다 이거죠. 그래서 이거를 우리가 이제 프레이밍이라고 그러고, 다음 페이지로 넘어가면 링크 relevant non-product related brand association, 꼭 제품이랑 관련 없는 브랜드 어소시에이션을 이렇게 뭐 연결을 해라. 뭐 그래서 우리 보면은 이제 뭐 스포츠 이런 거에서 꼭 제품의 성능이랑 관계 없는데 막 그런 걸 연결하고 그러는 경우가 많죠. 특히 뭐 B2B인 경우에 그게 많고, 또 find relevant emotional association for the brand, 또 감정적인 관련된 감정적인 측면도 연상관계를 좀 찾아봐라 이런 거고, 고객들을 기업 내 또는 여러 기업에 있어서 세분화해라, 주의 깊게 세분화해라. 그러니까 뭐 우리가 소비재 시장에서는 세분화를 굉장히 열심히 하고 잘하고 그러는 것 같은데, 실제로 산업재 시장에서는 그걸 하지 않거나 그러는 경우도 많이 있는데, 그러지 말고 하여튼 그 기업 내적으로 또는 기업 간 여러 기업에 걸쳐서 고객들을 잘 세분화를 하는 게 중요하다. 그러니까 산업 소비재랑 똑같이 그런 세분 시장들이 존재한다는 거죠. 그래서 뭐 우리 아마 소비자행동론이나 마케팅에서 배웠을 때, 산업재 시장에 있어서는 어떤 거를 구매해야 된다고 처음 이니시에이터, 제안하는 사람이 있고, 사용자가 있고, 인플루언서가 있고, 디사이더가 있고, 어프루버가 있고, 바이어가 있고, 게이트키퍼가 있고, 그렇죠. 그래서
본 건물을 출입하는 모든 분들께서는 반드시 마스크 착용을 해주시기 바라며, 특히 승강기를 이용하는 고객께서는
lastly, leverage digital technique and social media marketing approach
관리사무소에서
are also
감사합니다.
playing an important role in business to business setting. Digital marketing can play an increasingly important role in allowing companies to target current and potential customers in an efficient manner. Okay, branding has been adopted in a variety of industries, industrial, business to business product, and technologically intensive high-tech product. Services, in service industry, branding is so important. Branding a service can be an effective way to signal to consumers that a firm has designed a particular service offering that is special and deserving of its name. American Express, British Airways, Ritz-Carlton, Merrill Lynch, Federal Express. In Korean, credit card company, maybe Shinhan Card or Hyundai Card. In Airways, Korean Airlines. Ritz-Carlton is Shilla Hotel, Joseon Hotel. Merrill Lynch is 미래에셋대우 or 메리츠증권, 뭐 NH투자증권 like that. Federal Express, 한진택배 or 쿠팡 or like that. Okay. Next, retailers and distributors is department store or convenience store or discount store like that. For retailers and other channel members, brands provide important functions. Brands can generate consumer interest, patronage, and loyalty. Patronage and loyalty is almost same. And brands create an image and establish positioning with an industry. Like when you think of Mart discount store, Mart, E-Mart, Lotte Mart, Home Plus, or many kinds of Mart, and you can image each Mart has its own image and established positioning within an industry, yield higher price margin, increase sales volume, and greater profit. Okay. Retailers can introduce their own brands by using their store name, creating new names, some combination of the two. Okay, for example, Starbucks. These days, young people like you like Starbucks, and so loyal to Starbucks. But these days, coronavirus prevent consumers not to have coffee in the cafe, only take out is possible. So anyway, retailers can introduce their own brands by using their store names, creating new names, some combination of the two, and many distributors, especially in Europe, have introduced their own brands. And products bearing these store brands or private label brands offer another way for retailers to increase customer loyalty and generate higher margins and profit. Especially in the franchise industry, like McDonald's and Burger King or Dunkin' Donuts or 31 or many other franchise industry. The brand name is so important. So of great value. And digital brands, some of the strongest brands in recent years have been born online. Amazon, Google, Facebook, Twitter, Amazon, Google, Facebook, Twitter. Digital brand. Brands related to digital product or service. Brand building has become more important in recent years to online marketers. It is critical to create unique aspects of the brand. Brand needs to perform satisfactorily as well. Brand need to perform satisfactorily as well. Okay, people and organization, person and organization. A product category can be a person or an organization. Naming of this branding is usually straightforward. Usually is accompanied by well-defined images that are easily understood by consumers. The key to a person or organization as a brand is that people outside your industry know who you are and recognize your skills, talents, and attitude. Lady Gaga, singer the American Red Cross, Amnesty International, Sierra Club, or UNICEF, Save the Children, the politician, people, organization, brand are also very important to people and organizations. Let's move on to next slide. Sports, art, and entertainment. Sports, art, and entertainment. A special case of marketing people and organizations as brands exists in the sports, art, and entertainment industry. Sports marketing has become highly sophisticated. Sports marketing has become highly sophisticated. Branding plays, for example, has become an especially valuable function in the arts. Movies have become famous for their marketing and branding. For years, some of the most valuable movie franchises have featured recurring characters and ongoing stories, a classic application of branding. A special case of marketing people and organizations as brand exists in the sports, arts, and entertainment industries. Especially in sports marketing, branding is so important. Become highly sophisticated. Branding plays has become an especially valuable function in the arts. Movies have become famous for their marketing and branding. Movie star or movie branding is so important. Or Vengeance, or many other brand name of movie is important. For years, some of the most valuable movie franchises have featured recurring characters and ongoing stories, a classic application of branding. Okay, move on to next slide. Geographic locations. What has contributed to the rise in place marketing? Increased mobility of people, increased mobility of business, growth in tourism. Like Korean Jeju Island or Busan in Korea are famous for their good scenery and very enjoyable place, many attractions or like that, and geographic locations are also very branding is also important to geographic locations. Cities, states, regions, and countries actively promote through advertising, direct mail, and other tools. Okay. Lastly, ideas and causes. Numerous ideas and causes and goodwill, meaning goodwill, causes have been branded, especially by non-profit organization. they may be captured in a phrase or slogan or represented by a symbol, such as AIDS ribbons, And by making ideas and causes more visible and concrete, branding can provide much value. As chapter 12 describes, marketing increasingly relies on sophisticated marketing practices to inform or persuade consumers about the issues surrounding a cause. Okay. Next is what are the strongest brands? Brands that are the strongest are the brands that are best known, most highly regarded. Strongest brands are maintaining brand relevance and differentiation, and they are important to the success of a brand. Okay, relevance and differentiation are important to the success of the brand. Page 51, you can find the Science of Branding 1.3 on brand relevance and brand differentiation, the importance of brand relevance to winning in the marketplace, and growth strategy, and the role of niche versus mass marketing. So important. Okay. We briefly studied to page 52. And today I will finish by this point, page 52, the brand, and then next week we will study again chapter 1, the final part of chapter 1, because this book has lots of content, a lot of content. So to study and to have a class in a short time, one chapter, 1 week is not so easy. So from the start, I will progress not so high speed, and then you should have to read textbook carefully, and it's very, it will pay to you. 예, 지금까지 오늘 시간을 냈는데 여러분들도 느꼈듯이 지금 책을 얼마나 많이 샀는지는 제가 모르겠는데, 몰라요. 지금 책 사기가 또 우리 학생분들 얘기를 들어보니까 책 사기가 쉽지 않다는 얘기를 들었는데, 하여튼 곧 제가 분명히 이거를 수입하는 출판사 시그마 프레스로부터는 이거를 수입해 가지고 잘 팔고 있다는 얘기를 제가 들었거든요. 그러니까 아마 여러분들도 구매하실 수 있을 거고요. 아마 그 온라인 서점이나 오프라인 서점에서 구매할 수 있을 거고, 좀 아쉬운 거는 이 코로나 바이러스 때문에 학교 서점이 문을 닫아서 여러분들이 이제 거기서 구매하지 못하는 게 좀 아쉽게 생각하고 미안하게 생각합니다. 어쨌든 제가 오늘 그 강의를 52페이지 이 브랜드 모든, 그러니까 마케팅의 대상이라고 할 수 있는 10가지 대상이라고 할 수 있는 모든 것에 대해서도 브랜딩이 가능하다까지 여러 번 했고요. 그리고 또 스트롱 브랜드라는 것은 뭐냐 잘 알려져 있고, 또 굉장히 좋아하는, 사랑받는 그런 브랜드다. 그래서 하여튼 그러기 위해서는 렐리번스, 관련성이랑 차별성을 갖추는 것이 굉장히 중요하다, 이렇게 얘기를 하고 있고요. 그리고 다음 시간부터 브랜딩 챌린지와 오퍼튜니티에 대해서 공부하겠습니다. 여러분 저기 마지막으로 제가 몇 가지 이제 안내 말씀드리면 제가 이번 주까지는 2주차까지는 제가 퀴즈를 안 내는데 3주차부터는 이제 퀴즈를 낼 거예요. 그럼 퀴즈를 꼭 풀고 진짜 꼭 여러분들 그 책을 쭉 읽고요. 책을 쭉 좀 공부를 하고 또 그 여러분들 그 제가 방송하는 거 한 1시간 15분, 20분 정도 방송하는 거 그 강의하는 거를 꼭 좀 잘 들어주기 바래요. 이게 처음에 이렇게 한두 번 안 듣고 밀리다 보면 그다음부터 이제 못 들어가거든요. 예? 뭐 이 내용 자체가 어려운 것도 아닌데 요번에 수업을 하면서 아 내가 이 저것뿐만 아니라 좀 브랜드 관리뿐만 아니라 글로벌 브랜드 전략론뿐만 아니라 내가 좀 영어 공부도 좀 많이 해보겠다. 그러면은 이걸 진짜 이거 리딩하고 여러 번 하고 여러분들 연습 문제도 풀어보고 이런 게 중요하거든요. 그래서 책을 반드시 사가지고 미리 읽어 오시고 또 복습도 하시고 그러면은 여러분 뭐 브랜드 관리뿐만 아니라 저게 상당히 많이 영어 실력도 늘 겁니다. 제가 지난 학기에 보니까 실제로 오프라인보다 이 온라인 시험이 오픈북인데도 불구하고 훨씬 더 실력차가, 성적차가 분산이 크다는 얘기 했죠. 그럴 수밖에 없는 게 여러분들이 책을 안 읽으면 오픈북으로 내도 찾을 수가 없어요. 나중에 답을 찾을 수가 없어요. 자, 이번 학기에는 가급적이면은 이제 지금 7주차까지 10월 19일 그때까지는 일단 온라인 수업으로 계속 이런 식으로 진행을 할 건데 그 다음부터는 아마도 이제 중간고사 때는 조금 낮으면은 중간고사는 반드시 이제 좀 오프라인에서 시험을 치고 싶고요. 근데 모르겠습니다. 제가 이제 더 이상 상황이 이래가지고 뭐라고 확신을 가지고 지금 말씀드릴 수는 없고 제 의지만 그냥 표명할 뿐이고요. 하여튼 여러분들 그 이렇게 온라인으로 수업 듣고 그러느냐고 참 고생이 많으시고요. 근데 어쩔 수 없습니다. 지금 이런 상황에서는 뭐 우리만 겪는 일이 아니고 전 세계 모든 사람들이 겪는 일이죠. 그래서 우리 이런 얘기도 해요. 21세기가 2000년 밀레니엄으로 나뉘는 게 아니라 2020년을 기준으로 해서 2020년 이전과 2020년 이후로 나뉘는 거 아니냐 그런 얘기를 해요. 왜 그러냐 하면은 너무 많이 달라졌거든요. 이제 원격 강의가 뭐 일반화가 되고 있고 온라인 강의가 언택트 비대면이 또 일반화되고 있고요. 비대면이 아니라 요즘은 온택트란 말 하죠. 온라인으로 컨택한다 그래서 온택트라는 얘기를 하고 여러 가지가 많이 해서 여러분들 아마 좀 정신적으로도 막 좀 힘들고 그런 분들 많을 거예요. 솔직히 저도 그러고요. 많은 사람들이 그렇죠. 뭐 편하지가 않잖아요. 제가 만나고 싶은 사람을 마음대로 만날 수 있는 것도 아니고 가고 싶은 걸 마음대로 갈 수 있는 것도 아니고 그런데 하여튼 이럴 때일수록 여러분들 힘내시고요. 이럴 때일수록 좀 더 이럴 때 뭘 하나 마스터한다. 그래서 목표가 이 책을 사서 이걸 진짜 처음부터 끝까지 읽어본다. 모르는 것들 인터넷 검색해가면서 이런 걸 한번 결심을 하고 한번 해보세요. 그러면 그 여러분한테 나중에 굉장히 도움이 될 겁니다. 하여튼 제가 오늘 2주차 수업했는데 여러분들 하여튼 수고 많이 하셨고요. 하여튼 건강한 모습으로 또 계속 앞으로 만나기를 바라요. 다음 주에 또 뵙겠습니다. 감사합니다.